Yeah, so we come back. Select, record, examine, examine. Just a second. Yeah, examine, develop, evaluate, define, install, and maintain. I think I had already uh, gave you a brief about these 8 steps. So let's today we'll be talking about the select step first. So before we start talking about the select step, there's one thing that we need to know that let's say you have implemented these eight steps. So it's not that straightforward that every time you're going to do the work study or the method study, it's going to go in this straight 1 to 1 8 steps. It's at times it's quite possible that you develop something over here, and when you evaluate, it turns out that it's not good enough. So you may have to go back to the select then. So you may not even go to 6, 7, or 8 step. For example, uh, uh, you may not achieve the cost effectiveness, or the method that you developed is not warranting that uh, it's the added investment which you have done. आपने मान लीजिए कोई मशीन में अरेंजमेंट न्यू अरेंजमेंट किया, because with the work study you found out, or the method study you found out, that the method could be better if you install one fixture. But then it turns out that even after installing that fixture, it's not returning the same amount which you are putting in. So you may have to actually go back. So it can happen in loops also, these steps, and it's not necessary that every time you do changes or develop new thing, there's going to be a sure shot success. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is also an issue. Let me check. So I think I can stop recording here. No, let it go there only. I'll present it. That's easier. Okay. So these are the 8 steps. Now we'll talk about the first one. Select the work to be studied. That's going to be our step number 1. So any operation which we may select could be a candidate for work study. But then we should have some argument that why we are doing it. So it's not like randomly I'm walking in a shop floor and I see, take this work. There should be some logic behind it. There should be some rationale कि आपने वो select क्यों किया है work method study के लिए. So अगर आप हर जॉब जो भी आप इंडस्ट्री में हो रहा है, सब काम को मेथड स्टडी से करने लगे, तो इट विल बिकम अ होल इंडस्ट्री, डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री ऑल टुगेदर. So what can be done? Can anyone tell? Yeah, so what I was saying is that when you are in industry, if you split down method, if you split down various jobs or the works which are going on, you can count thousands of them, right? So you can't take anyone randomly, okay? Or neither can you take all the jobs for method study. So how do we select? How can we come to a rationale? How can we come to a reason that why did I take this particular job as a candidate for method study? So one is saying least effective. Anyone else? Okay. Okay. So broadly, it has been said that there are three factors which we should consider. Factors to be considered before we take method study. Method, or you can say work study. So first one is you can say economic or cost effectiveness considerations. The second one would be technical considerations, and third one would be human considerations. So any of these satisfies the these are the three criterias. If any of the job satisfies the criteria, we can take up that job. So let's see that what is the meaning of economic or cost effective considerations. So we can always ask few questions from ourselves, like will it pay to begin a method study, or will it pay to continue this study? So these are some of the obvious choices. Okay, so first one under economic and cost effective considerations could be profit. We take up the most profit generating activities which are slightly easier to identify. Profit generating jobs, or you can say one which the jobs which are the kind of activities which are producing largest amount of scrap or waste rates are high. So if you work on them, definitely you know that this particular machine or this particular workstation is giving maximum scrap, so I can take it up. Okay, so that is quite valid also. Then we can take up bottlenecks. Bottlenecks, you can consider. I have also talked about bottleneck earlier. Like in assembly line, there are, let's say, workstations A, B, C, and D. Okay, so work passes to these A, B, C, D workstations. Work flows like this. So on A it takes 4 minutes, on B it takes 9 minutes, on C it takes 2 minutes, on D it takes 8 minutes. So which is a bottleneck over here? Yeah, anyone? So this is the bottleneck because your output will depend on B, because it is the slowest station. So you can take up these bottlenecks, or you can take up operations which involve repetitive work. Repetitive work using which use great deal of labor, and the ones which are likely to run for a longer period continuously. So repetitive work can be taken, the workstations or the jobs which are very repetitive and very labor intensive, they can be taken up. And the fourth one could be movements of material over long distances between workstations. So if there is a lot of movement between two workstations, so for example, if there are, we can draw the lines which are indicating the amount of load. So only one line here, and of course, all the work is flowing between this. We will not take the example of assembly line. We will take an example of shops. So there's a shop A, shop B, shop C, and shop D. Hmm. So we can see there's a load of 50 units. Load of 50 means 50 units get transferred from A to D in a day, and A to B, 20 units are getting transferred in a day, or you can say 20 trips are there. And similarly, A to D, 50 trips are there, and B to C, 30 trips are there, C to D, 10 trips, C to C to B. Also, it is not compulsory that if there are 30 trips from B to C, there will be 30 trips from C to B also. I'll give you an example. Let's say A is a drilling station. Okay. B is a milling station. It is a foundry. Foundry is like casting and all. And this D is a machining station, lathe machine, or you can say, or turning, whatever you want to name it. Now, it is not necessary that from milling to foundry, if 30 steps are there, from foundry to milling, there will be 30. So there could be 70 also. Similarly, we can have multiple bidirectional arrows for different works. So this is a job shop. What you see, the diagram above this one is a assembly line, while BCD is a kind of a job shop. We say it is a job shop arrangement where the work moves haphazardly from all the places among each other. So we can always find out uh, among which workstations there is a maximum movement. Like we can see over here, if I'm saying 10 over here, 5 over here, some numbers I'm just randomly writing. So if we see 60 over here and 80, 100 over here between B and C. So we can take up we can take up B and C, and then we see 70 units of movement is happening over here. Can we reduce it with the help of method study? I hope you get that. So yeah. Okay, good question. Actually, if you look at it, um, there are many things. If let's say some work is produced over here, okay, A, we start with generally we start with foundry. So let's say some workpiece is produced over here in foundry. Now it has to go to machining. Okay. Now there's a good possibility that यहाँ पे already 100 workpieces are already waiting. Also, it is possible that this worker which is there, it takes time. If you've been to any industry, I think you've not been to any big industry yet. So I'll show you some video where big industries or in labor intensive industries, the movement is like it can go up to a kilometer also inside. So if foundry is generally located far away from the machining shop, so it may take a day to move from here to here, because a single piece will is not going to go from foundry to lathe machining. It may have to wait for 50 pieces from move to here and here. Okay. So can you reduce the number of movements which are happening by doing some changes in the changes in, or maybe you can install one lathe machine near foundry itself. So these are some propositions, because money is time and time is money, right? People say that way. So whatever a labor is spending that much time in a day in movement, if you can reduce that, you can save some money. Or if you are going to install a conveyor, so that itself is going to take some amount of your electricity and all those things. So give you an example of National Engineering Industries. It's located in Jaipur only. So foundry and machining center are almost more than a kilometer located from each other inside the company premises itself. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
And even repetitive material handling is very time consuming and wasteful activity, so it should be avoided. So that's how we talk about economic or the cost effective consideration. So we can always think it from that point of view, that these are the four uh, uh, criteria on the basis of which you can think. We can also use Pareto charts. Pareto chart, you can say, is identifying the key operations. For example, we can make it like this. So we list down the number of operations. Okay, operation number. Operation number over here. Operation number 1, 2, 3, or you can say randomly. It could be 10, 12, 23, 1, 8, 9. So why am I writing them in not sequential manner? There is a reason behind that. I find that the maximum profit contribution of maximum profit contribution in the product is because of the operation number 10. So I can make a histogram like this. Then comes 12. Then comes 23. So profit contribution of a certain operation. So we can arrange them in the descending order, and then we can zero down on the top 70% operations. This could be one of the techniques. So it is called Pareto chart. Or you can also see instead of profit, it could be wastage. So largest percentage of wastage is because of which operation. Or this, if it's scrap is coming, and the scrap is coming because of machining, or uh, uh, because of the casting, or because of the milling, or any other operation which you can think of. So we can do this Pareto analysis and say we seek which are the maximum contributing operations, and we can select them. So these are some cost or economic considerations. Then come technical considerations. So it is so thus we can say over here that it is one of the most important consideration, and it is desired by management to acquire more advanced technology wherein the equipment or in process can change the way we work, like we computerize the system. If let's talk about uh, paperwork. Okay, you take any organization, any office. So if there are, let's say, 4 or 5 departments which interact with each other in a given day, we can consider this diagram again. So if let's say there are A, B, C, D, 4 departments are there, they are interacting with each other through papers. Okay, so if there's a lot of paperwork going on between the departments, there's a lot of dispatch and receival everywhere. Like that's the system in our MNIT also. If I have to send a document to, let's say, account section, so I do not have to go directly to the account section. First, I'm going to give the document to my office. They will register that document, give it a number, and they'll write it in the register. And then they'll dispatch. A guy is going to come. There's a guy deployed in accounts office. He goes around all the departments in a day, just like a postman, and collects all the documents from them and registers in his own ledger, or you can say in his own register. So he comes in a day, once in a day, and then he's going to go there and uh, aggregate all the documents which he has aggregated from all the departments. Then he's going to go and give it to each one in his to whomsoever it is concerned with. He's going to give it to, वो उसको देगा जाके वहां पे लेट्स से अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट में 10 डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फंक्शंस आर देयर, तो वो हर जने को जाके वो एक एक डॉक्यूमेंट पकड़ाएगा. So this process generally takes it may take 2 to 3 days. Okay. Now, if we talk about technical considerations over here, now how can I ease this process? Anyone? How can this process be eased? Exactly. So for that purpose, we have ERP. ERP. All of you are also using ERP. We also use ERP. Our ERP is different than yours, right? Uh, in our ERP we have several functions. We can, if I have to talk about academic, if I have to send a note to academic section, I can send it. So it is all in modules. Similarly here, that's what it is meant by technical considerations. So if you can come up with some technical uh, solutions to ease the process of movement or reduce the cost, then I can consider this as a solution. And it has really made our life also very easy. It is also saving on the paper. So you are saving on the cost, you are saving on the labor, on the movement with this. So the work efficiency has improved and it has become faster. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, so from what I've understood, what you mean to say is that why should we do paperwork at all? It is required for recording and responsibilities. If let's say uh, I have spent some money in a project, okay, and if that is not documented, it can be problem for either of the party. Similarly, in industry as well, the movement of the work pieces which are leaving one workstation and going to another workstation, the documentation is required so that accountability के किसकी जिम्मेदारी है. आपने if you say कि मैंने 100 pieces काम किया था आज, 100 pieces अपने workstation से निकाले थे. So what is the validity of that statement? So that's why we have, even your money is nothing but a certificate only, the paper notes which you have. So that these are all certificates. The paperwork which goes on in an organization, they are all certifying methods. Am I clear? Yeah. It actually helps in analysis also in industry. Let's say you want to find out which is the most inefficient workstation, or which is the workstation which is causing the maximum amount of scrap. So how do you find out that? How do you find out? There are 100 machines in your organization. So which machine is causing maximum scrap? How do you find out? Yeah, I mean, how do you make the Pareto chart? You need data, right? So until unless you have the data, which will be available in historical records or these certificates, or the record which you have in ERP. So that's why this all is required. Okay. How good have you performed over in year? आपको appraisal देना है, आपकी salary बढ़ानी है. So किस basis पे करेंगे? So these are the bases. Then we have the third one, which is human considerations. Actually, there are certain operations which cause a lot of dissatisfaction among workers. They are fatigue. They can induce fatigue. they can they can cause monotony, or maybe even safe. Now you can recall again that video of Charlie Chaplin which I have shown earlier. You remember that the Charlie Chaplin was so much bored with that work, and he just became a mechanical robot, that he was even fatigued. He could not see that even differentiate between a screw and a nose. Like he was even screwing the nose of the other guy. So it was actually a representation of a worker who is working in a menial job which is repetitive, boring. So ये होता है. Okay. So these are some human considerations which you have to take into account. So because of this, the Maslow's theory, I'll recall it again. You will until and unless you have a step to look forward to, you will not be motivated. Getting it? If you are stuck in one job, keep on doing that job again and again, your motivation levels are going to go down until and unless there is something else to look forward to. Okay. So even though you are ensuring that he is going to get a fixed amount of salary every month, but then that salary has only given him that basic needs. What is at the bottom of the pyramid? Yes. Yeah, physiology. So physiological needs he has met. Then what comes next? Safety. Now he's safe also. Okay. Now how will you motivate him? Huh? Yeah. So he's already part of a group. Okay. But then he's stuck over there. He's part of a group. Now he's not standing out. He's doing the same job again with other workers. So the work study will address such operations which are causing a worker to be stuck at one place. Uh, so these jobs are to be identified, and either the ways of it could either they have to be more they have to be made more interesting, or for example, because let's say you can do some automation, we can club factor number 2 and 3 together. There are 3 machines, or let's say 4 machines, and each of the 4 machines have 4 workers, and they are doing the same job again and again and again. Okay. Now what you can do is, if you can do automation, and if this worker has to now only not he does not have to operate the machine as such, but he just have to push some buttons and some control levers by automating it. So now you can give these 4 machines to this worker, one worker instead of 4 workers. So now he will have some variety in his job. He's handling 4 different machines. It will also give him some self-esteem, because he can now say that I am handling such a I am in charge of 4 machines. Getting it? So this is one solution in such situations. So choice of a particular job for study may lead to unrest or ill feeling among the workers. So that's the meaning of human considerations. Then limiting the scope of work to be studied. So now once you have selected that, okay, I'm going to take up this operation and I'm going to work on it, and we'll do a work study over this. You have to now zero on the actual problem. So you have to limit the scope of the work. So you have to limit the scope of the work to be studied. So so this is one of the first decision a work study specialist has to make, is to define exactly what type of work to be studied, setting up boundaries around it, and decide what exactly it will encompass. because okay, I decided this workstation I'm going to take, यहाँ पे machining हो रही है. Yeah, okay. Now, so from what angle should I study it? Shall I study the movements of this guy, or shall I do timing? Shall I time all the jobs, or shall I simply start with recording of everything which is going on in this workstation? So you have to zero down on upon it. So we have to think like, do we wish to examine the whole sequence of operations which are going on this particular machine, or only certain parts of it, or there'll be more opportunities elsewhere. So elsewhere, like in movement of material or operators, or the operator handling the material. So there are so many things actually happening on a machine. Okay. Uh, so in order to make such decisions, it is important to we understand thoroughly what is the problem at our hand and present situation before we look for solutions. So this is we have talked about how do we select a study. Hmm? When we start doing a method study, the first step was, go back there. So first step was select. So today's discussion was based on the operation of select. So we go to the second one now, record. Now you can again do the Pareto analysis. Like now the question still remained in your mind is, how do we focus? How do we focus on a given operator or a machine? So the thing is that now you have to start again doing the same thing which you have done earlier, like identifying. So it's not like एक बार selection की process it starts at a broader level, plant level पे start होगी. Once from plant level you identified the operation, now the same thing you are going to do on operation. So there's a material handling going on, there's a movement of the worker which is there, the movement of the worker for the movement of the material, and movement of the worker for picking up tools to be used on the machine. Like in lathe machine also you have different types of tools for different operations. So उसको रखना कहाँ पे है, मान लीजिए what type of tools do you have on lathe machine? Can you tell? What types of tools do you use on lathe machine? Yes, and more. Can you say some more? Only one cutting tool which is employed on that? There are many attachments to it, many auxiliary attachments. So ये सब चीजें कहाँ पे होंगी? ऐसा तो नहीं है मशीन के नीचे पड़ी रहेंगी. There'll be a place, there'll be a store, or there'll be a tool post जहाँ पे ये सब होगी. So वो उसका movement tool post तक कितना हो रहा है in a day? Maybe that tool post itself could be moved closer to the machine. Huh? Yeah. You're saying something I couldn't get. Okay, okay, okay. So these are the things. Now that's it for today, and I'll be sending quiz in a minute or so. Okay. Yeah. You people can give attendance meanwhile.